Hey guys, before you jump into this video, which was taken from a previous Facebook Live, but still awesome and amazing, which is why I want to put it up here on my channel for you, I wanted to let you know that I am running the Tip the Scale Sessions live group course starting a couple weeks later in November, or like a week later in November. It just had to be that way to work with my schedule. So if you're interested in understanding how to fundamentally use the way that you eat, the foods that you eat, understand how your body is always responding to what you're doing, to your practical action steps with food, movement, and lifestyle stuff, along with your mindset, which is so powerful. And we have to look at this piece when it comes to being a person who can maintain a healthy weight loss. You can check that information out. It's in the description box below. Please send me a message if you have any questions at all over on Instagram, and I'm happy to talk to you about it. So enjoy the video. I will talk to you so soon. Hi, happy Friday. So I was just having a talk with my sister. So a lot of times when we go on walks, we might be like going on walks at the same time in different states, and it's really fun to like be able to like go on a walk together and talk on the phone. So we were just talking about, you know, food and everything that we always do, and the conversation was really good. So I wanted to share this perspective because it literally was the thing that I had to come back to and had to remember to be able to lose all the baby weight. And now I feel just like myself again. I feel like strong and like I'm in my own body again, which is a great feeling to have, right? And I totally get and have compassion for when it feels like it's not your body that you're living in, because it does just sort of throw off your sense of self and how you show up in the world. But hopefully this will help you remember how simple it gets to be, okay? So the first thing that I want to remind you of is that in order to be a person who just like lives a healthy lifestyle and has results from that, you have to get that it's enough. It's enough, and at the same time, it always works. So you have to come back and remember, like, your body responds to what you do, and your body responds to food, and it responds to things that are real. And this whole thing about health and this whole thing about weight loss, it's all about the health of all parts of us. And so that means like the health of your gut, the health of your ability to eliminate, the health of your systems, tissues, cells, and organs, and the health of your mind. And so this is really about your mind getting on board and remembering and knowing that all these things that you do every day when you live a lifestyle of a healthy person, that they are enough and that they work, and that they also work for you just like someone else, right? And so for so long, because I think it was because like I fell into or chose into the health industry in college. My undergrad was exercise science, health promotion, and I was like in the gym all the time. I was in the physiology lab, and I was like learning and researching, and the emphasis was very much on like, do these things and then you can have this result. And that's obviously has a place, but it can be dangerous or tiring, honestly, to think that you have to always be doing something to get a result when that's not how it is. And if you have ever approached your body, your fitness, your weight loss, your toning, whatever, from this idea that like you have to be on a plan, or you have to be on a program, or be doing a diet or doing a cleanse or some of these things in order to have the change, have the result, have the weight loss, have the body transformation, the health transformation, then you're always going to need to be doing something, or you will limit yourself from the ability to just have it and to receive it. And then you can like say that you believe in eating real foods and eating healthy and all these things, but you won't let yourself have all the results because you don't feel like you're working hard enough. Okay, so I think this is what a lot of the people who are like anti-cleanse and anti-juicing, or more like in like emotional intuitive eating kind of are saying. And I get it now, like you don't need to like do something to earn health or to earn changing your body, but you can, but you get to. Okay, so the lifestyle of a healthy person is someone who does all these things naturally and also by choice, right? So what I said to my sister was something like, you land with what works. You're always going to land with what works, what feels true, what feels authentic, what feels natural, like a natural extension of you being a healthy person. You're going to land there. You're going to come and know what works. Like, eat some vegetables, like eat fruit, drink a lot of water, move your butt, tone, stretch, be strong. Like that stuff is going to be true, and how you specifically do it can look differently. And so you don't have to do it the way that I like to do it, but the way I like to do it is to know that what I want to do also is what works for me. And so it's almost like too good to be true, right? Sorry, there's no battle. There's no battle anymore. There's no struggle. You can't fight this. You can't fight yourself on, oh, I have to eat this certain thing in the morning so that I can lose weight, or I have to eat only these foods so that I can stay healthy and strong. And like, this is a really important concept that I teach towards the end of my Trust Your Gut course, which is that you move on from the protocol and you go back, or you go forward into like just being a person who consumes food, because you have to have this innate knowing that your body works and that food also works. And so you can look at food as a tool, as a way to create a specific change, to create a health transformation. You can use these foods to heal your gut. You can use these foods to cleanse your liver. You can use these foods overall to induce weight loss. And then also, like, you just get to eat, right? You don't have to be on a program or on a plan. You can use them for that because they work like that. But it's also this just, like, this is how it is, and I get to eat the things that I love to eat, and those things work for me. And so it's the mentality, and it's the perspective, and it's the mindset of like, this never was meant to be complicated. This is always how it was. Like, things always grew on trees and from the earth and in nature. And that was what people chose from. And now we just have a lot of shit choices, and we need to choose differently and choose normal, not normal, but natural. We need to choose real and remember that that was always enough, right? It was always enough. And it was always meant to be enough, and it was always meant to work. And like, maybe it's the diet industry, and maybe it's gyms and whatnot that are like trying to like get you to buy stuff or whatever. But, like, you know how people always say, well, maybe not people always say, but like in my world, medicine, like hospitals and like sick care is not like really health care. There's no money in, like, I saw someone say this the other day, like, there's no money in teaching like holistic healing, which is not true, because like, I'm a health coach and I can make money, right, and receive for helping people, knowing what I know is true and what works. But I'm on a larger scale, like, no money to be made by like pharmaceutical company, or no money to be made by big pharma in general, or the government or whatever, right? Like, this whole thing, like, oh, now I'm gonna rant, but this whole thing with like the presidential election and all the people running for office, like, I'll tell you who I would vote for. I would vote for the person that says, we need to completely change the food system. We need to completely get an understanding of how health works, and then look at all the bazillions of dollars that we would save and have come back to our government, with all the people thriving, and not only not being sick, but thriving and being healthy. And then what if they're emotionally healthy, and what if they're living their soul purpose, and they're just like joyful, and abundance is everywhere. We don't need to live in this like constricted, full of lies, hidden agenda kind of world, right? And like food works, and we don't need to like make this harder than it ever meant that it was supposed to be. Like it just works. So in order to live a lifestyle and expect results from it, the first thing you have to know is that it's enough and it works, and this is not complicated. And what you get to do is just fine tune, and you get to edit. I love the word edit, and I love like the idea of like toning and tuning your whole approach to your body and to your health, because it really is individual. And what you have to see is that your body is actually super responsive. And that's sort of what I touched on, I think it was yesterday or the day before, when I did the training on like how to reset your metabolism, right? We want our body to feel that sensitivity to the extent that like we know that every one change we make is having improvement within. So like even if you drink Diet Coke right now, if you started to drink Zevia, which is something that like Heath and I are having his mom do, that's massive. Like that's so massive. And of course I want her to like eat all organic food and lots of vegetables and never order, you know, things that she does. But I like also understand like the massive significance of every change. And when you get that and then you start to live the lifestyle, then you see how very, very, very powerful all of this is, because it adds up and it adds up. So like imagine just that power of like adding up, flushing your system with water when you wake up, and putting in hydrating fruits, and then choosing like leafy greens, and then lean organic well-sourced proteins, and like all of it, your body's like, yes, yes, more, cleanse, purge, change, nourish, heal. And then it works, you know, and you just keep doing it. And so it's that understanding that the food is telling your body what to do. And so be mindful of your choices and know that all these choices matter, right? So what happened for me was like I was doing all these same things, but I still had the baby weight to lose. So two things. It was that, well, maybe three things. That first thing that I just said, knowing that this is really all there ever needed to be, that this works and it will always work. It's enough. Like I didn't need to like try really hard, honestly, but I just had to keep going. I had to remember that repetition is the thing. Like keep going and keep doing it, and it will budge, you know, like, and it will budge faster when you know it can budge faster, when you believe that everything you're doing counts and is so significant and so matters. Because this is the other side of the coin. I was thinking like I shouldn't have to try, which is true. And like, it doesn't matter anyway, was this voice in my head. Like, it doesn't matter anyway. Like, nothing's changing, but there's nothing else to do, and I don't want to try harder. So do you see how like I put myself in limbo, and I couldn't make a move from there. I couldn't see results from there. Nothing could go anywhere, right? Because I stuck myself right in the middle of, this is how I eat. I like it. I believe in it, but I don't see what I want to see. And so it doesn't matter. But what I had to come back to was like, oh my gosh, this does matter. All of this matters, and it's good, and it's good enough. And from that place, like I couldn't tell you what I did. Like I still eat avocado bread all the time, and I still eat pancakes for breakfast. And I think that was always what used to confuse me when I would hear people say stuff like this. But like you just have to get, like, your body it's responding to all that you do over time. And it's so one thing, like eating vegan protein chocolate pancakes that are delicious, like, that's not wrong. It's not wrong, and it's not going to make you fat, and it's not going to make you gain weight, and it's just something you can choose. Like, you just get to choose, and you just got to be consistent. And so, like, this 80-20 rule really is true. And I think if the 80-20 rule is true, then we're all trying way too hard, right? Because 80% of your week looking like really good and healthy, there's a lot of room to just like not even think about it. You know what I mean? But what happens is you want to stay with what helps you feel good. You want to stay with what makes you thrive and makes you feel your best. And so there's even less of a problem. If there ever was one, there's no battle, there's no struggle. And then your body can move from there when you remember that what you do matters, what you do counts, and what you're doing is enough. And so it is a lifestyle, and it isn't a diet, and it's not ever going to be a diet, and it's not ever going to be something you do for 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks. It's going to be how you choose to be, and it's going to be how you choose to live and what you choose to put your belief in. And if I were you, what I know for sure is I'm going to choose to believe that I have massive control over how my body gets to feel. And I choose that. I choose the foods that work, and I choose the movement that works, and I choose the movement that has longevity attached to it, and that makes me feel good, and that makes me stronger, makes me longer and leaner and better posture, and just like feel stronger within and without and balanced. And I want to choose the foods that let me live a life where I don't have to think I could possibly get it wrong, right? So you can't mess it up. You just have to keep going, and you have to do your best. And then from there, know that like you can use all these things that we have with food and herbs and supplements and the qualities of food, the macronutrients that are food, and we can use them to make a big difference with focus and intention. And so it's not about like, oh, I don't want to have to try, or I don't want to have to be on a diet or avoid this or that. You don't have to do anything. It's just you can do things faster. You know, you can accelerate change. You can accelerate results. So what if you looked at weight loss that way, or toning your body, or changing your body that way? There is no pressure and there is no timeline. But when you choose to know the power of food, to know the power and the responsiveness of your body to respond to food, then what will you do from there? Knowing that everything counts, and knowing that everything matters, and knowing that you're orchestrating all of it from within. You choose, then you do, and then what happens follows. And so from that place, you can choose to get rid of sugar for so many days if you want to, and you can choose to like do a little more cardio, or do a little bit more focused toning, training, Pilates, because you know that it works. It's repetition. And so the more consistent your repetition, the faster you will see the change. And all you have to do is believe that and know that and accept that. Okay, that's so cool. So remember that food always works. What you do matters. It's not supposed to be hard. It's just a scale that you get to like move in on, and know the power of your food, and know the power of your actions, and know the power of your intentions. And then you choose how you want to play the game. Okay.